In the cold, boundless reaches of space, the term restricted space wasn't taken lightly. These areas were marked on every reputable star chart with warnings as explicit as they were mysterious. Do not enter. No exceptions. To most, these regions were a final stop on the road to oblivion. To the Gorgoth pirates, however, such warnings were merely an invitation. Captain Vrax, the notorious leader of the Gorgoth crew, leaned back in his command chair aboard the Dagger's Fong. The massive warship bristled with stolen alien technology, its dark hull a patchwork of countless raids. Surrounding him, his loyal but equally ruthless crew cheered. Restricted space? Vrax sneered, his crimson cybernetic eye glowing faintly. Sounds like where the best loot's hiding. The crew erupted in laughter as they steered the ship toward the ominous boundary. What awaited them, none could have anticipated. Crossing the boundary, the transition into restricted space was instantaneous. One moment, they were in the familiar void of stars. The next, the ship's sensors screamed in protest. "Captain, the systems!" yelled Grault, the ship's engineer, before his console went dark. Outside the viewport, the stars dimmed, replaced by an eerie golden glow. Pulses of energy rippled through the void like silent lightning, and enormous structures loomed in the distance. They weren't natural. No asteroid or nebula ever looked like this. "Massive energy signatures ahead," shouted a crew member. "But it's not a fleet. It's a graveyard," whispered Vrax, his smirk faltering. Stretching for what seemed like eternity were the shattered remnants of warships. Some looked ancient, their hulls scarred by battles long forgotten. Others were impossibly sleek, designed with materials and technology the pirates couldn't even begin to comprehend. The Gorgoth crew exchanged uneasy glances. Even the bravest among them knew they had entered a place where titans had once fallen. The encounter, before they could react, the Dagger's Fong shook violently. Alarms blared, and the ship was enveloped in a sudden energy field. "We're being pulled in," screamed Grault. Vrax stood, gripping the armrests of his chair. "By what?" As if in response, a massive construct emerged from the golden glow. It wasn't a ship, it was a fortress. A station of unimaginable size, with spires and turrets that bristled with dormant weapons. It pulsed with life, and yet there was no sign of any crew. The pirate ship was dragged toward it, helpless against the ancient technology. "Shields are useless. Weapons won't fire," another crew member cried. Vrax growled. "Enough. If they want to fight, we'll give it to them." But just as the pirates prepared for battle, the ship's comm system crackled. A voice spoke, calm, precise, and undeniably human. "You have trespassed into restricted space. Identify yourselves or face immediate consequences." Vrax hesitated. Human? Here? The last records of humanity showed them as a scattered, primitive species, a joke among the galaxy's elite. But this voice wasn't primitive. It carried authority. "I am Captain Vrax of the Gorgoth Pirates," he said, forcing bravado into his tone. "We claim salvage rights." The voice paused, then returned, colder than before. "You are trespassers. Stand down and prepare for boarding." Vrax's confidence cracked. Boarding? By who? The voice didn't answer. Instead, a fleet of sleek, automated drones poured out from the fortress, surrounding the Dagger's Fong. Their weapons hummed, with energy that made the ship's shield seem laughable, but it wasn't the drones that terrified the crew. As the golden glow brightened, a massive hologram appeared over the fortress, a depiction of humanity's flag, ancient but unmistakable. Beneath it, one phrase glowed in bold letters: "Earth's legacy endures." What the pirates saw when the drones finally breached the ship, the pirates expected towering machines or alien monstrosities. What stepped aboard were humans. Tall, battle-scarred, and clad in armor that seemed to blend technology and nature, they moved with the precision of seasoned warriors. "Humans?" Grault stammered, disbelief etched on his face. The lead soldier, a woman with a gaze as sharp as her blade, scanned the room. "Your kind thought humanity was extinct, didn't you?" she said, her voice carrying an edge of amusement. "We're far from gone. We just evolved." Vrax stepped forward, attempting to regain control. "We mean no harm. We were just—" The woman cut him off. "Save your lies, pirate. You violated restricted space. That's punishment enough." Before Vrax could respond, the fortress shuddered and the golden glow intensified. Outside, the remnants of the ancient ships began to shift, aligning themselves into what looked like a formation. "Prepare yourselves," the woman said, her tone deadly serious. "You've woken something far worse than us." A sleeping giant stirs, the fortress rumbled, its ancient systems awakening from a slumber that had lasted millennia. Outside the viewport, the derelict warships, some the size of small moons, began to glow with faint energy. Their shattered hulls repaired themselves as if by magic, and their engines roared to life. "What? What is happening?" Vrax demanded, his bravado completely gone. The armored woman turned to him, her face grim. "You've entered a graveyard, pirate. But these ships aren't dead. They've just been waiting." "Waiting for what?" Gralt whispered. "For a threat," she replied. "Or a fool." The glow outside coalesced into a massive energy wave that rippled across the void. The pirate crew watched in horror as their sensors lit up with incoming signatures. Hundreds, no, thousands of them. "These ships aren't just machines," the woman said. "They're part of Earth's final defense system. When humanity retreated from the galaxy, we left behind guardians to ensure no one could exploit what we built." Earth's legacy unveiled one of the massive warships, a dreadnought bristling with weapons that seemed more suited to gods than mortals, turned toward the dagger's fong. A beam of light scanned the pirate vessel, and a cold, mechanical voice echoed across the comm system. "Intruders identified. Threat level negligible. Initiating containment." The dreadnought's weapons didn't fire in anger but precision. Beams of energy lanced out, disabling the pirate ship's engines and locking it in place. "We surrender," Vrax shouted, his fear palpable. "We didn't know this was human space." The woman raised an eyebrow. "Now you know, but surrender won't save you. The system doesn't care about your intentions. It only cares that you're here. Can't you stop it?" Vrax pleaded. "I could," she said, her voice cold. "But why should I? Your kind has preyed on the weak for long enough. Perhaps it's time you feel what it's like to face a predator." The legacy's purpose, the glowing golden energy, intensified, and a massive hologram appeared in the void. It depicted Earth, not as the pirates remembered it from old, ridiculed star charts, but as a thriving world of unimaginable beauty. The mechanical voice spoke again. "Earth's legacy is sacred. Trespassers will be judged. Prepare for verdict." The pirates stared at the image, their awe mixed with terror. It wasn't just a warning, it was a declaration. Humanity's influence hadn't faded. It had only gone silent, hiding in the depths of restricted space, waiting for the right moment to reassert itself. "This is what's left of us," the woman said. "A species that learned how to survive not by dominating the galaxy but by outlasting it. You thought we were weak because we disappeared. You were wrong." Judgment Day, the dreadnought emitted another pulse, this time targeting the pirates. Directly, Vrax and his crew felt a strange sensation wash over them. It wasn't pain, but it was deeply unsettling, as if their very essence was being scanned and analyzed. "Scanning for intent," the mechanical voice announced. "Piracy, exploitation, countless crimes against sentience. Verdict, guilty." "No," Vrax screamed. "You can't just—" The woman interrupted, her tone unyielding. "The system doesn't negotiate. You made your choice when you crossed the line." The fortress and its fleet began to charge their weapons. The pirates braced themselves, knowing there was no escape. But just as the energy reached its peak, the woman raised her hand. "Enough," she said. The mechanical voice hesitated. "Override command detected. Awaiting input." The pirates looked at her, hope flickering in their terrified eyes. "You'll live," she said, "but not as you are. The system will ensure you never harm anyone again." A new purpose, the energy field surrounding the dagger's fong shifted. Instead of destroying the ship, it began to transform it. The pirate crew screamed as their ship was restructured, its weapons dismantled, its systems reprogrammed. When the process was complete, the Dagger's Fong was no longer a warship. It was a medical frigate, its hull gleaming white and adorned with the universal symbol of aid. The pirates themselves felt different, their minds no longer filled with greed and malice, but an overwhelming desire to help others. What did you do to us?" Vrax asked, his voice trembling. The woman smirked. "You wanted treasure. Now you have purpose. Welcome to Earth's legacy. You're part of it now." As the fortress and its fleet faded back into the golden void, the transformed ship was ejected from restricted space. The Gorgoth pirates were gone, replaced by something far greater. They couldn't believe their eyes or their new destiny.